Hey guys, I just wanted to do a little intro video. I'm a fidget collector and I wanted to do an intro to Magnus. I actually have another one on the way, but I wanted to show you guys what I have so far. The first slider that I ever got from Magnus was a peak slider. I actually traded that for this Toad X. Now, there's different formats that you can get the sliders. The cheapest one is titanium with Teflon plates. It actually makes for a very silent slide. You hear that? But you can actually go faster and make it snappy. This one's actually pretty cool on its own, but Magnus before had made something called a sandwich. This is actually a Zerk plate. He only made the sandwich in the Zerk plate originally, but I know that he's making more, and his new plates have these screws so that you can change the configuration of the magnets or maybe make them stronger or softer, you know, not as hard to push. But I really like putting the sandwich in there. So the Toad X on the website, I think is like $167, something like that, plus shipping. He's in the Netherlands, so but he does like 3-day shipping, so it gets to you pretty quickly. This I bought from the secondary market, which is just like Facebook groups. I bought this for about $100. But he is making more of these, so you'll be seeing them soon. So now, what's cool about this is that there's an interesting sound that you get from Teflon on Zerk. I'll show you the difference. So originally we had Teflon on Teflon. That's very, very smooth. What's great about Teflon also, there's no upkeep. That's never going to be scratching, but it's kind of quiet. So Teflon on Zerk, though, you still have quietness, but you have a much louder snap. Now, this is the Wide Boy. He actually just came out with this not too long ago. He originally had a design called the Rail, and he wanted to make a rail but a little bit bigger, and he ended up making something like this. So this is titanium, and it's got the screw-in Zerk plates. So this thing cost me, I think, $220. I bought this also from somebody else who didn't like it, but it was pretty much brand new. So he's got these right now in brass and copper on the website, but in limited quantities. There's these drop slots that you can sign up. I mean, not sign up. He releases like 5 or 10 every like 3 or 4 hours, and then you can try to snag them. But listen to the difference between the plates. So that's Zerk on Zerk. Okay, and so that's Zerk. This is Zerk and Teflon. You hear that? And then Teflon on Teflon. Much quieter. So anyway, you can get, and he's got a bunch of different designs. He said that he was only going to make the Toad X, and the Peak from now on, but there's a couple other designs on the website, like Ripple, and there's Grenade and Crab. Those are not on the website. You can get them on the secondary market, but there's still a bunch of other designs. There's Crack. It looks like a crack on there. They're all the same size as this. Now, if you look at the Wide Boy, it's bigger. So these are referred to as a 2-click design because you have 1, 2, okay? So this is a 3-click design because you can go all the way up and you go 1, 2, 2, 3. So this is considered a 3-click design. But if you want Zirc plates, it's a little bit more on his website because zirconium is more expensive. But just to show you what you can do with the sandwich in there, I love this setup. So you can pull it all the way out like this, flip it on around. You can do a bunch of different tricks with the 3 stack there. And I find, I had the peak before, and the peak's cool, but this feels so good with the ridges, man. And I'll tell you, I've dropped this a bunch. I mean, it is, God, this is my go-to slider for real. Look at that. So, website, brand new, with the Teflon plates. It was like $167 plus shipping. And then the sandwich was $100. But like I said, he's making more of the sandwiches. And the wide boy was $220. So wide boy, you can still do a bunch of tricks. I really like this one because the magnets are strong, but not too strong. Like you're gonna get carpal tunnel or something. Plus, it's a nice amount of grip. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. Makes a nice clacking. Plus, it's just easy to fidget with. I really like it a lot. Okay, he does other designs with the 3-click. There's the dimple that's out right now. There's the original rail, which kind of looks like this, but without the side pieces there. But let me think, is there any other ones? Oh yeah, the ridge. The ridge. Oh no, yeah, the ridge he's not making anymore, but he's still making the robo. There's some crazy designs. You can check it out on the website, and I'll post a link to the website down below. Now, I actually have another thing from Magnus coming that he made a long time ago called the Starfish, and I guess it was a hit or miss kind of thing, but I was able to find it on a website. Not many people liked it, but I wanted to check it out. It's kind of like a haptic clicker slider, but I'll do a video on that. So these are, this is called the Floop. It's his version of a spinner, and I'll show you how that works. And then this is called the Trio, and you can actually order this right now on the website. It just came out. But let's talk about the Floop real quick. So this thing, I think it cost me like $115, $120. This is titanium as well. What's really nice about this is that the button has these like really coarse grip. It just feels so good. So anyway, the way that this works, it's pretty simple. You can play with it a couple different times, and it's got a lot of grip on it as well. I guess there was an older version of the Floop that didn't have the ridges. So you can play with it like this. You can also flick it kind of like a spinner, this way, that way. It seems so simple, but it's pretty cool. I did notice a couple of these indentations of where it was spinning, but you know what? Fidgets are meant to be used and abused and beat up. I mean, I know that people have these collections where they don't ever want to mess them up and they don't take them out of their packages, but that's not me, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I don't go for a lot of the premium materials like zirconium. This, you can get solid zirconium, this too. I mean, you can get all of this in zirconium. I mean, if I was rich, hell yeah. But I'm not, so I go for the cheapest one. But titanium is still pretty damn cool. Very strong, smooth, not too heavy. But this is cool because it's, when you spin it, it has like an off-center kind of, you see how my hand is shaking? Like an off-center kind of spinning motion. Again, this is another one of these hit and misses. Some people love it, some people hate it. I posted in the Magnus Facebook group that I loved it, and people are like, what? And then I said, well, you know, I like this so much, I'm wondering about the Trio. And they said, get it, get it, get it. So I was like, okay. so this is the trio. I got this also from another Facebook member. I got this for, what did I get it for, like 150 or 130, something like that. On the website, you can get this for, I believe, 157, something like that. So again, you can actually mix and match the different materials. So this is titanium with Teflon, but you can also get titanium with Zirc, the slide plate. You can see right here, these buttons come out, and there's the screws right there. So I can take these buttons out, and I'll just show you. They're just moving all around on my desk right there. Okay, so you can take out the screws and adjust the magnet strength. So as you can see, sometimes there's some debris that kind of builds up in there. The reason is that I keep these in my pot. I'm like, I really love this thing so much that I like sleep with it in my pocket. I go everywhere with it. I just love this thing. The people in the Facebook group were correct. I mean, this thing is awesome. Yeah, there's some more lint. Okay, so you can get this also in solid Zirc as well. So the body in zirconium, the slide plate in zirconium, and even the buttons in zirconium. But this is the cheapest model. So there's Teflon. So like I said before, you can actually have a very smooth sliding experience, but you want to say, well, you know, is that going to be satisfying? Is there going to be haptic feedback there? But back to the options, there's also, these are the concave buttons. There's also ones that look like little sticky buns almost. They're swirl. They're like, they're more of a mound shape. But again, you can get zirconium buttons, and you can actually buy the buttons by themselves. The zirconium buttons, I think, are like $100. I'm not sure. But like I said, I'll link it to the website. So a lot of people also mix and match the buttons. So you can have two of one kind, one of the other. So I'm placing them here. I'm placing them inside right now. Okay, so here we go. The bottom has 4 little rivets, which actually feels super good in your hand. You see how it fits? Fits good, and it feels good. It's nice and heavy, but not too heavy. But out of all of these, this is the heaviest. So this kind of is like a worry stone feel. So if you go to Magnus's website, he says, I invented a fidget that can be played with 557 ways. And, you know, I mean, he's not wrong. There's a lot of ways you can play with it. So, you know, the first thing that you can do is you can slide one at a time. Now, if you hear it's not really making any noise because, again, it's Teflon on Teflon. But what's cool is sometimes you don't want a lot of noise, like if you're in a movie theater or not wanting to annoy your partner. Okay, so then here's where the haptic comes in. If you want to move 2 at a time, listen to this. That's pretty satisfying. It takes a little bit of force because you see that there's a gap in between the magnets here. You can see the shadow of the magnets. So you have to push with a little bit of force to get the magnets over that hump. And when it does, it clinks against the side of the body, or it clinks against the other button. So it takes a little bit of force, boom, and then it releases. And that's satisfying in itself. Then you can add a third one in there. So listen to this, even louder. And it takes even more force to do that. Now, the whole thing is magnetized. Some people put the magnets on the back of it and all that, you know. So there is actually a lot you can do with it. Sometimes I like to flip out the magnets and put them back in. But anyway, I digress. So again, these are the ways you can play with it. It's so simple, but it feels so nice. I definitely want to try the other types of buttons, but sometimes I like to just put my finger right there. And just, there you go. So the other fidget that's going to be coming is called the Starfish, and I'm going to do an unboxing when that one comes. It's, like I said, it's a haptic coin slider. He said that not a lot of people liked it, but I'm just so curious to try it out because I love the stuff that he makes. So this is it so far. Really good, solid products. He's super responsive. Like, you place an order and he ships it out the next day. I mean, and also if you go to his Facebook page, he's constantly in there responding. I mean, he responds to every single post, Magnus. So anyway, well, that's it. And so I'm gonna be making a lot more of these videos. If you guys like it, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna be doing unboxings and reviews. And if you want individual reviews, you know, let me know and I can do that as well. But I've got Modus Works, I've got wraps, I've got spinners, I've got haptic coins. I've got a bunch of stuff coming that I'm gonna be doing unboxings on. So yeah, it should be a good time. All right, thank you guys for watching.